step.
Okay. I would like to talk about the efforts the council has done in terms of strategic planning. In the year, around the year 2000, we were able to present our case to the Central Florida delegation, and Buddy Dyer was a senator then, and he was going to carry the bill, and we actually drafted a bill to get a state redevelopment district going. At that same time, Chairman Martinez was chairman, and he was challenged by the Orange County delegation to do something more for unincorporated areas of Pine Hills. And that's when we began the process for the Safe Neighborhood Partnerships and the Pine Hills people. The council wrote the first grant for the Pine Hills Safe Neighborhood Partnership, which is now throughout Orange County. And that's when we got the $180,000 for the first grant. Then in 2004, the council wrote another grant. This was a planning grant, strategic planning grant specific for that corridor, or that intersection of Pine Hills and Silver Star. It was called a strategic planning for pedestrian and traffic in preparation for some type of redevelopment. And over a year's process, there was a huge report that was put out by the Renaissance Planning Group in conjunction with the Pine Hills community regarding a future vision for those 4 quadrants. And of course, the first one was education, which is now in place with the new Evans High School. And then the last, in 2009, we had the Pine Hills Task Force that was again brought together, people from Pine Hills. For several years, they put another task force together to develop this concept, to move the 2004 strategic planning to a more of a design conceptual phase. That ended, and with that ending, they started the Neighborhood Improvement District with an advisory board. And now they're in the process of hiring a CEO who will actually be hired to champion and move that concept forward. So you're looking at a planning process for Pine Hills that originally started in 2000 and is now probably 2013 before it actually gets an individual who can focus on this primarily. So this is how it's slowly moving. But the big important thing here is that the council has twice put an initiative on the Orange County ballot to be recognized as a village. This last one in 2010, we got 37%, or 2012, we got 37% of the vote of all Orange County. Everybody in Pine Hills wants this, but all the Orange County voters has to approve it. That's why we just can't seem to get over the 50% threshold to have this, and that would make us an unincorporated village and give us a local advisory board for all our citizens, so that if we have these issues that come up, we've got this place to take it. Because we had an NID meeting this morning, and already you can see that there are things that people are bringing things to the neighborhood improvement, which is a business redevelopment, that have to do with all of Pine Hills. So where do you take it? Do you take it to the Safe Neighborhood Partnership? Do you take it to the council? Do you have to get us all to agree? So it's a very unusual situation the way Orange County Charter is put together with the municipalities and the unincorporated areas. Because when you think about it, think about this. Every municipality has a mayor and their city council. Then Orange County has commissioners. They have a mayor and commissioners. But those commissioners are also the commissioner for those municipalities. They are commissioners for all of Orange County, not just unincorporated areas. So that commissioner in District 6, she has south of, well, for the most part, south of Silver Star. She also has a lot of the city of Orlando and a number of other municipalities that's involved with the city of Orlando. You get commissioner who Commissioner District 2, which is Commissioner Brummer, he has like Apopka and Selwood, and those are all, he's responsible for, I mean, the situations that impact that area that the people come to him for. So when you're looking at a governmental, the large group, when you think of 70,000 people, we would be the second largest city incorporated in Orange County. We fought, and we have 2 commissioners that kind of look after us, but nobody who's in Pine Hills who looks after us on a daily basis. And this is why you have these issues going on, because it's a lack of communication that is constantly, the newspaper is important. That's why the newspaper is here.
Yeah, I would think
because
so.
the newspaper tells you, the people, these are the issues. This is the things you have to be concerned about. We fought a lot for the library. We wanted to get a freestanding library. We went to Orange County. We chose a couple sites. But at the same time that we did that, Mayor Scott from Ocoee gave the library board a parcel of land to build a freestanding library, which meant ours was put on hold because we couldn't give them a parcel. You see what I mean?
You can't refuse that.
No, no. So these are the kind of issues that we have with between the unincorporated areas and the municipalities.
What would be your next big push to try to get incorporated?
We tried several times to be incorporated. Twice we made it official in the 70s. We have looked at the process since I've been president of the council twice now for 6 to 7 years in the past, over the years, and I'm still on the board. And we have an issue because we are mostly residential. And to be incorporated, you need to have a fairly significant business, commercial area that will be bringing in some tax revenue for you.
Right.
Yeah, so there are some real serious questions about incorporation.
What would, in addition to representation, what changes would being incorporated bring to Pine Hills?
I feel that being an unincorporated village, we have some wonderful marketing opportunities to market ourselves as a village. As you know, we are a place. As we develop, our business corridors develop, then when we have a sense of this core identity, we can market our diversity. There's a lot of things we could do. We have a card. The council has a card that's called the Shop Pine Hills card. We have like 25 merchants who's part of this program. People can we give the card away free. The merchants give them a discount. We're trying to bring people to shop, to do their shopping in Pine Hills, to keep their money here. If we, to build up our economic base as much as we can. But we're not going to give up on this idea of representation. We're going to continue with that and see where it goes. But we are not going to stop that, because the more we rattle that particular cage, so to speak, the more Orange County is aware that we are there. We've just been here a long time. We've seen a lot. There's a lot of other issues too in terms of water. The Pine Hills area is the major percolation area for Orange County because of our soil. We had a situation that happened at Crooked Lake where it used to be an 82-acre continuous body lake right there off of Hiawassee, where Knox Nursery used to be. What happened there is very interesting, is that for 3 weekends in a row, alligator poachers came in and killed all the alligators, and on the 4th weekend, of course, the state game people came in and tried to make some arrests, but by that time all the alligators were gone. And then they brought in some big pipes, great big huge pumps, and they started pumping all the water out of Crooked Lake. And at the same time, they pumped all the water out of Crooked Lake, then people tell me who live around some ends of it, is that they brought in for about 3 or 4 days, was a nonstop flow of cement trucks that came and put cement into an area where the spring was, like they would fill up a sinkhole. And now, this was before the last development. We tried to save the last parcel of wetland around Crooked Lake, but the developers came in and were able to develop it all over. And that was because in the state of Florida, developers, it's a mitigation bank they have. They can, if they're going to have like a big development in South Florida, they can give up some of their wetlands in one area and put them to another. They can move them around. So they gave up their wetlands around Crooked Lake to development. They just moved it from one to another. I'm not sure myself exactly how it worked, but I know that's what happened. So Crooked Lake is an ongoing situation because when we spent a lot of time going to the Orange County Soil and Water Board with this issue about Crooked Lake. In fact, our son ran for office and became on the Soil and Water Board for a couple of years because of this issue. He's a biologist, and he went around the lake, and there's actually a stream of water that runs down from the Popka Vineland side, the backside of Crooked Lake, and there's water that runs down. And the construction berm was this close to where the stream is running. So there was a lot of stuff that was happening with Crooked Lake. And at the same time, when we were bringing those issues up, Orange County utilities, Orange County started to fuss about the underground water. And they discovered that they were pulling more, some of the corporate companies were pulling more water out of the aquifer. So those issues are still there. The Sentinel just ran an article, 2 or 3 issues on the underground water issues that are here because the press about 4 months ago put a little blurb in the paper about Crooked Lake about we weren't giving that up and we were wondering where all the water went. And all of a sudden the water started to appear in Crooked Lake again. Because there's another thing I want you to know, and if you can, because I'm going to not always be here, but in the record, I want you to know that there's a connector, a big pipeline that runs from Lake Orlando underground, and it goes all the way through Pine Hills, under Pine Hills, to Horseshoe Lake and to Crooked, underneath Hiawassee to Crooked Lake, and the city of Orlando at Lake Orlando has the gate to the pipe. And depending on what level that gate depends on how much water is moving through the pipeline. That was put in the 70s.